One of the stories that's going around angering a lot of people is the decision to ban e-cigarettes in the United States, or vapes and all that stuff, because some people have died from complications of using the product. And people are pointing out a lot of hypocrisy here. How come this is being done, but cigarettes aren't being done? Guns kill so many people. Why don't we do something about that? And then there's the fentanyl crisis, etc. Well, I'm not here to defend big business, but I am here to defend basic logic. It should be obvious the difference between vaping and owning a gun. I know there's a joke in there somewhere, but I don't think it would be appropriate at this point. Now, it should be obvious that vaping is not a right protected by the Constitution. Vaping is a recreational activity that I find very funny, and there's many jokes I could make about it, but that's besides the point. It's simply a recreational activity that does the body harm. Whereas guns are a means. They are not simply inanimate objects. They also have a political context in which they exist, which is why there's a portion in the Constitution about protecting them, because of that particular political context, that defending not just yourself, your family, but fighting tyranny and all the, well-regulated militia and all of that stuff. So there's a very clear difference between guns and vape pens. Do I really care that vapes are being banned? Not really. I mean, there's like a million things worse than a vape pen. When you consider the average American diet, is a vape pen like really comparable to a Big Mac? Not really. I mean, only like 450,000 Americans die every year from heart disease or something. My problem is with the lack of logic behind the arguments being made. When you compare it to fentanyl or to cigarettes, etc., there's a very big difference. Now, aside from the fact that both fentanyl or the derivatives of it, opioids, etc., and cigarettes were put into the public, misleading the public about how dangerous they were, they're addictive. And to deal with an addiction, you cannot simply ban something. That doesn't work. Banning controlled substances has never led to an abolishment or the reduction in the use of said products. That doesn't work. I think we've already learned that lesson from history multiple times by now. People aren't addicted to vaping. They do it for the... I swear to God, I'm trying not to make a joke about people who vape. I swear. People vape for an aesthetic, for a flavor. They don't actually get anything out of it, like you would with fentanyl or marijuana. I'm not saying marijuana is addictive. I'm saying you get something out of smoking it. And cigarettes, which are also addictive, which is why people do it. Nobody says, hey, let's go get cancer today and then start smoking a cigarette. People don't do that. They smoke because they're addicted. They may have started for really stupid reasons, but they get addicted for those particular reasons. Just banning things isn't going to make it go away. I'm sure the government would like to do more about addiction in general because it's not good for the American society. It's great for the manufacturers of those products, but in terms of the general economics of the country, addiction is a bad thing because it's going to eat up a lot of resources. It takes people out of the labor supply, etc. It's not economically good for the economy as a whole, though it's very good for the people who sell those products. So there's a very big difference between something that's an addiction and something that's not an addiction. Banning something that's not an addiction isn't the same thing as banning something that is addictive that tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of people are addicted to. So you could see the kind of point that I'm trying to make here. Do I think that vape pens are really on the level of something that should be banned? Not really. There are, a million things worse than this. I don't think it's worth the effort of banning it, but I can see the logic behind it. They're trying to stop it before it becomes something that's a bigger problem. If you keep waiting, the vaping industry is going to get bigger and bigger and more powerful and get bigger lobbyists would make it even harder to get rid of. So I can understand why they're doing what they're doing. I can understand the logic behind it. I don't think it's worth the effort, but I get where they're coming from and what they're trying to do. My problem, as I said, is with people trying to compare vaping to guns. Stop.
Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.